Hello, welcome to Discovering the World of Natural Health. I'm your host, Claiborne Holtzman. Today we're going to have a special topic. I'm going to talk to you about magnesium and let you get your knowledge and information about what it does, how it works, and what it can affect in this temple of God we live in. And I'm excited about what we're in the process of learning and doing and having and getting the information out that the pharmacy that was the original pharmacy was in the Garden of Eden. And in that pharmacy was everything in the plant kingdom that were to keep Adam and Eve alive and well without dying. And no, it just wasn't about not dying. It was about, I get excited about this. It was about living a healthy, prosperous, fulfilling life and having everything we needed to take care of us 100%, that there would be no sickness, no death, only wellness and happiness, would not be the suffering. But just because we as Homo sapiens chose and choose today to be better than the creator of the body, it's like a magic touch within us that gives us the ability to be 100% performing. And when it ain't like the car when the spark plugs used to start bad and you start missing, or, one of the things that I remember growing up, when something wouldn't run in the gasoline kingdom, it was toxicity, improper nutrition in the gas tank, so to speak, and it wouldn't crank because you couldn't have combustion. And that is one of the major issues we have, is that we're not operating properly because we're putting in tainted gas, and we are not able to perform and be the person we need to be. Yeah. So I'm going to share with you this mineral magnesium and what it does and how it works. First of all, let's talk about the importance of magnesium, and then we're going to just take this and we're going to give you enough information that by the time we're done, you're going to want to try magnesium. And I'm going to tell you, there is an easy way to find out when you have put enough in your body. Your body will let you know. It will take and start giving you loose bowels. And if the bowels are loose after taking the magnesium, and then you just back off of it and then put back into it, what gives you the even flow, okay? Magnesium is an important essential mineral in the body. It's a mineral. There are other minerals in the body too. But today, on this TV show, on the 15th of January, 2024, we're going to talk about the mineral magnesium. It is involved in most major metabolic and biochemical processes that serve as a cofactor. Cofactor would be like you and I helping each other. It's a helper molecule for more than 300 different enzymatic reactions. Now stop right there. That tells me there has been some investigation, there has been some study on this particular product. And because it says helper for more than 300 different enzymatic reactions. We talk a lot about enzymes on here. We talk about probiotics on this show because they are the foundation of what keeps us rocking and rolling. Low magnesium has been tied to numerous health problems. Now, it's tied to it. But when was the last time a healthcare professional shared with you that magnesium was important, and if you don't have it in your diet, you may want to do it? When was the last time someone brought it up to you and said, think about it? Does this sound like something that you're having trouble with, and you may be able to overcome this imbalance of this mineral? It's like baking a cake. If you leave out some of the ingredients, or some of the ingredients are tainted and not what they need to be, then the cake doesn't come out right. Same way with you and me. We don't come out right if we are not putting in what gives us balance. And in this particular field of endeavor, it's called homeostasis. That means it is equal to what it needs to do and gets the job done because it is, quote unquote, balanced. Okay, we're going to talk about low magnesium has tied to numerous health problems, including, now, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, osteoporosis, depression, and anxiety. When you have been tested and tried and say, well, I think you got a health issue. I think you have something going on in the cardiovascular system. I think there's maybe diabetes on the verge, or you have it. There's osteoporosis, depression, and anxiety. When were you blood tested to find out if magnesium was low for you? Okay. Suboptimal levels of magnesium are more common than most people realize. And that's why I am bringing it out on this show. I am bringing it out that suboptimal levels of magnesium are more common than most people realize. Okay, it's the case. What are you talking about? It has been estimated that 64% of all men and 67% of all women in the United States have inadequate dietary intake of magnesium. More than 80% of the people over the age of 71 have an inadequate dietary intake of magnesium. Why don't we check for magnesium deficiency? Making matters worse, excessive sodium intake, that's salt, folks, high alcohol and caffeine intake, and some medications including proton pump inhibitors for acid reflux can further contribute to lower magnesium levels. Folks, 80%? 80%? What's going on with the folks in the healthcare profession? And I'm going to give you a summary before I go out, just in case you don't have a chance to watch all of this. Chronic stress can be extremely harmful, increasing the risk of cardiovascular disease, obesity, and other conditions. The close link between the stress and levels of magnesium in the body has sparked the interest of researchers. A specific form of magnesium called magnesium acetyltaurate improves the bioavailability of magnesium and has found to be more effective at raising brain levels of essential minerals than the other forms of magnesium tested. And if you want the magnesium acetyltaurate, check up and remedy this naturally in the life extension product. Okay? Magnesium. Ah, boy, oh boy, oh boy. Chronic stress, that's a big one. Before I get into this is another statistic. I just wondering if I wanted to give it out now or give it out, maybe do this, this is so critical, I may want to give this out twice, as I'm doing it now and before I end the show. But in 2022, reports the American Psychological Association noted that 73% of U.S. adults say they feel overwhelmed by the number of crises facing the world right now. I mean, the psychologists have been confessed to that 73% of the U.S. adults say they're overwhelmed by the number of crises facing the world right now. Got a big mess, folks, going on. I mean, I love this. I have a friend of mine, and today was his birthday. Send him a little note saying, "Happy birthday, glad you're one of the guys that help people overcome situations and have a better quality of life." He said, "Claiborne, it's not easy anymore. And the things that people get upset about just don't make no sense. People don't have a sense of humor." And he says this to me. He says, "Midgets can't even be called midgets." Y'all work on that one. But I just want to share something with you, and I'm going to get back to it. But I have the book right here. This is a big booger bear. Disease, Prevention, and Treatment. It ain't a simple book. And this is the book that is written. It says Disease, Prevention, and Treatment. 131 evidence-based protocols to combat disease of aging. And we got to take care of that because you got one choice. If you don't get older, you're dead. So let's get it older and we age gracefully. Based on thousands of scientific articles and the clinical experience of physicians from around the world. Physicians' book that I'm able to have to share and find out information. So listen to me on this. On magnesium, you're gonna be getting some magnesium and realize how important it is. But in this book, you go to the very back, okay? And most of the time, if you go to the very back and you look, you'll have something called an index. Well, in this index on this book of Disease Prevention and Treatment, you will notice there's columns of word study with definitions and articles to give you something to look about, get educated. Well, I look up magnesium. Magnesium takes up a whole page. You just will say by the time you add up what's from here down and what's over here, a whole column. Now, here is what is going to blow your mind. Let's just talk about one element, magnesium. And it says magnesium, age-related cognitive decline. Age-related cognitive decline. All right? Alcohol use. Okay, if you're going to use alcohol, what does that do to the magnesium in your body? Is it part of the problem if you are alcoholic or you're just a social drinker? And what in the world would alcohol use cause in relationship to magnesium? Got an article in here. Got studies in here. Oh, I love it. And, okay, let's keep going. Allergies and magnesium. What is going on if I'm low in magnesium and it's going to affect my allergies? Good question, right? Okay. Alzheimer's disease. Oh, wait a minute. Is anybody giving Alzheimer patients magnesium? Do they test for it? If there's studies been done, why isn't the information out? What I am trying to do is wake you up to let you realize that God's pharmacy, the one created in the Garden of Eden, can and will be the final say-so about our health condition. Okay. Anemia and magnesium. This next one, please. This affects 100% of everybody. Because at some point and some time, you're going to have some anxiety. You're going to be anxious about something. That guy about the Garden of Eden, the one that created those folks and put them in the Garden of Eden, he had a title called God. And God said, be anxious about nothing, but through prayer and supplication, let your requests be made known unto God. And He'll take care of it. But because we are a physical mechanism made up of minerals, made up of compositions for each one of our organs, we need to put back into this body and the flesh we live in what could be missing to help us have balance. Backward again, homeostasis. Balanced. We need to be balanced. Oh, okay. I said anxiety, arrhythmias, and anxiety. Arrhythmias and magnesium. What if my heart jumped out of rhythm? Could magnesium be something that could benefit me so my heart can go back into rhythm, because maybe due to stress? You getting the picture? You don't have to get all of it, because I'm going to keep on explaining. I'm going to keep on sharing with you. Okay, asthma. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD. Could it be that the kids are anxious in school? They can't sit still because they're low in magnesium? Why not test the kids for it? Why not share some magnesium with them? Why not find out if that is a viable option to ADHD? Good question. I think so. Celiac. Chronic fatigue syndrome. Chronic inflammation. Chronic stress and magnesium, cirrhosis and magnesium. So, folks, one of the biggest things, and I'm not going to talk about it on this particular broadcast, but there is something going on now called fatty liver disease. Some really good, I should say good information out there in this particular book here. Chronic inflammation is part of the text of this book. Chronic stress, cirrhosis. This is gonna hit home. It's called constipation, and magnesium will help move you. If you are not having your movements, magnesium is a way to get it going. All right. Depression and magnesium. How would it sound? How would it be if I could just say, I took some magnesium and I'm not depressed? Why not? Maybe check into it. Depression, epilepsy, fibromyalgia, gastro reflux disease, glaucoma, hearing loss, hearing disease, heart failure, and magnesium. The heart doesn't stop, but it is affected in how it responds due to how we respond. And if we have heart disease and heart failure, high blood pressure controls with the cardiovascular system. And magnesium. Yeah. Good stuff. Okay? Inflammation, skin disorders, and magnesium. Insomnia. Can't sleep? Go buy a CPAP machine so to help you sleep, because things get too relaxed on the inside. And but CPAP, what if you maybe try something simple before you get that major expense and inconvenience of having to sleep with that sucker? Maybe could try some magnesium and see if that makes a difference. Okay. Insomnia, kidney stones, kidneys, and magnesium, metabolic detoxification and magnesium, migraine headaches and magnesium. Normal lab test reference range, obsessive compulsive disorder, oral health, organ transplantation, osteoporosis, and magnesium. Something so simple. And folks, it ain't like this is new stuff. This stuff has been around for a while, and the natural way of doing things was used until it began to get contemplated that it was complicated, and we need to use a whole lot of things that are going to cost a whole lot more money than just a magnesium capsule. peptic ulcer disease, polycystic ovarian syndrome, premenstrual syndrome, Reyes Reyes disease, restless leg syndrome. How about when you're sitting down, you get ready to get off your feet for the evening, and because you just have to go, you work as a waiter or waitress, or you have to keep up with something, like a machine, and your legs just won't quit. You go to bed at night and they just shake the other partner out of bed. A little magnesium. Skin disorders and magnesium. Type 2 diabetes, vertigo and dizziness, weight loss, and wound healing. Magnesium talks about the different ones. All that information, for the time we have explained here on this program. Okay? I'm just going to take that, move it out of the way, and just show you something else. Hold on to that one. I'm coming back over here. Okay? Now, got another great book. And it's called Herb Allure, Master Reference Book for all the products we carry in Nature Sunshine brand. I want to share something with you. And this particular one, the magnesium you get from Nature Sunshine, is not just magnesium. It has some additives in there that I'm going to share a little bit more with you, and you can see why you want something that has a little bit more than just magnesium. But on the other book, it was that magnesium by itself. Just blow these pages loose here. Hi. Maybe I ain't got to, and if I ain't got to, there's that thick a page. Paper is. Okay, now that we learned that on television. Okay, magnesium is an essential. You gotta have it. It's essential. And it's an essential mineral involved in every healthy function of the body, including healthy functioning of the brain, cardiovascular system, production of cellular energy, nerve and muscle functions, regulation of blood pressure and blood sugar levels, formulated for bone protein, and maintenance of acid-alkaline balance in the body, of the body. Doesn't that sound kind of critical? And magnesium, one essential thing, gets out of balance because of our stress, our way of life, our lifestyle, maybe too many social hours. Okay. Estimates indicate that as much as 60% of the United States population may be at risk of magnesium deficiency. Why? Why could a study, and the study is that 6 out of 10 individuals in the United States of America may be risk of magnesium deficit. Alcohol consumption is one of the major causes of magnesium loss from tissues. In addition, aggressiveness. If we have low levels of magnesium, it's common now, especially among individuals taking prescription drugs such as antibiotics and contraceptives. certain cancer drugs, and potassium diuretic diuretics. Furthermore, excessive intake of fat, salt, sodas, and coffee can reduce magnesium levels. So, it's basically the magnesium is affecting our basic lifestyle that we're trying to enjoy, but we're doing things that is causing us to have stress, which would even affect that 60% number more, and it gets higher because it's not being attended to. Now let's just get a little bit more deeper into magnesium deficiency. Can be difficult to determine. Such a deficiency can manifest with many signs and symptoms, including anxiety, aggression, loss of appetite, depression, fatigue, hearing loss, impotence, insomnia, muscle spasm, and cramps. And I'll say, on that, muscle spasm and cramps, magnesium will make you happy. Nervousness, weakness, neuropsychotic disturbances, tremors, seizures. Magnesium deficiency has been associated with metabolic syndrome, migraine headaches, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, osteoporosis, and preeclampsia, a potentially life-threatening condition in pregnancy of women involving high blood pressure. And that is so critical when you're trying to carry the beautiful gift and creation God has given you, and then you have a magnesium deficiency, high blood pressure, and you need something like as simple as magnesium. Okay. Okay, let's go here. Magnesium supplementation. That's why you would go to Remedy This Naturally and pick up some supplement, especially maybe consider magnesium. But magnesium supplementation has been successful to treat a wide range of health problems. Okay? Wide range of health problems by one essential mineral, magnesium. So, example, clinical trials have shown that magnesium supplementation reduces diastolic blood pressure, and multiple cohort studies have included that higher magnesium intake is associated with a reduction in death from cardiovascular disease. Whoa. Let's back up and go to the beginning of that sentence again. Blow my shoes off my socks. Okay. Magnesium supplementation reduces diastolic blood pressure, and multiple cohort studies have concluded that higher magnesium intake is associated with a reduction in death from cardiovascular disease, as well as decreases in the risk of stroke. In addition, meta-analysis colorectal cancer studies have shown that higher magnesium intake is associated with a lower risk of colon cancer. Furthermore, Randomized controlled studies indicate that magnesium supplementation may prove beneficial effects on glucose control in patients with type 2 diabetes, as well as improving insulin sensitivity in non-diabetics. And I'm going to go and let you know that magnesium, yeah, great. Now, how about if we go with one particular product called Magnesium, put out by the Nature Sunshine Company? They add to the magnesium the items I'm going to talk to you about, okay? Calcium is required. Okay, let me back up. Each tablet provides 250 milligrams of magnesium with small amounts of calcium and phosphorus in a base of kelp, licorice root, peppermint leaf, and white willow bark. So they've added a few things to this so we can, just move some of this crap out of the way. All right. Calcium is required for healthy bones and teeth, muscle contractions, nerve transmissions, immune system function, cardiovascular health, and energy production. Additionally, research suggests that calcium offers protection against various types of cancer, including breast and colon cancer. Now, so how about if we test it for calcium? How about if calcium is maybe in the multivitamin? Or you may want to buy some magnesium from Remedy This that has calcium already in it. With phosphorus, a need for calcium to function properly, as calcium works with phosphorus to build and maintain healthy bones and teeth, especially for children. Phosphorus also assists in energy production, kidney function, and cellular and tissue growth and repair. Repair? How about if we had some phosphorus and calcium helping repair in the Garden of Eden? Yes, repair it. Go pick it off the tree and eat it. Kelp, typically used to promote thyroid function and improve sluggish metabolism. Given its rich iodine content, kelp is also a plentiful resource or source for magnesium and other vitamins and minerals. So you got the plant, you got the kelp put in there, and the things it does. I actually, in my salt shaker, I have calcium in it. I have kelp in it. And if I need some salt on something, it's going to be kelp because it has the minerals in it. It has the other vitamins and minerals to help. Okay, let's go on. Licorice. Okay, approved by the German Commission E for the treatment of gastric and duodenal ulcers. In addition, clinical studies indicate that licorice root, exerts cardioprotective, liver protecting, and immune modular effect. Licorice root is also a rich source of magnesium. Aha. Did you hear that? Listen to me carefully. How can I get licorice in my diet? You can pick up licorice and you can actually add it, and it's a rich source of magnesium. Shows you it's in God's plant. Peppermint leaf is a popular digestive aid for reducing flatulence, gas, and relieves spasmodic, cramping pain in the gastrointestinal tract. Peppermint oil is also a natural source of magnesium. You ever thought about this? You go out to eat, and what they do, give you a bill, lay it on the table, and they give you 2 peppermints. That tells me they understand. They know this already. It's no secret by every restaurant that gives that peppermint. And so it says, peppermint leaf is a popular digestive aid for reducing gas and reducing cramps and pains in your gut. Peppermint leaf is also a natural source of magnesium. 2 things already: licorice and magnesium. White willow bark, that's basically aspirin in the natural. That's where aspirin came from, folks. A commonly used as a natural anti-inflammatory and pain reliever. Willow bark is approved by the German Commission E for rheumatic ailments, headaches, and diseases accompanied by fever. In addition to willow bark, is a natural source of magnesium. 3rd item, magnesium. Okay, and then in this book here, it shows you all the studies. Let's go to the front. I talked to you about the magnesium, flipped over, and it gives you references after references after references of what you want to be able to consider magnesium as something to be able to assist you. Okay? So, powerful stuff, folks. Powerful stuff. And we also, at Remedy This Naturally, not going to get into it, but it has a magnesium complex. The one I read you about was magnesium with a few added things to it. I'm going to just take one sentence out of here, out of this paragraph. In addition, magnesium demonstrates a protective effect against stress-induced psychotic damage. Research has shown that a negative correlation between magnesium balance and oxidative stress, chronic stress, or injury lowers magnesium levels, with simultaneously increasing the intensity of oxidative stress upon the body. Both magnesium deficiency and oxidative stress have been identified as a pathogenic factor in aging and in several age-related diseases, such as stress-induced cardiovascular damage. I'm not going to read any more of that from there, but just let you know that's under magnesium complex. Magnesium complex. Okay, I'm going to get my page here, put it back, always move it over. Okay, got those 2 things. Isn't this eye-opening and revealing? Absolutely. And so I'm going to go back. I have some other information. A brain-specific magnesium reduces stress. And this is coming from an article in the magazine, Life Extension. And in a 2022 report, and I said this earlier, and it's worth repeating, and especially for you that did not hear it. In 2022, report the American Psychological Association noted that 73% of U.S. adults say they feel overwhelmed by the number of crises faced the world right now. In other words, folks, this is where prayer comes in. What do I mean by that? Because 73% of us human beings are saying that we are overwhelmed with a number of crises facing the world right now. And that's why I gotta get off my rabbit trail. I gotta get on my rabbit trail for a minute, okay? If 73% of the U.S. population is so upset by events, they're missing out on trusting God and believing we human beings have the answers. And that is wrong. This is the same problem with the health care, in that we think man can do better than God, but man he finally gets to the point when he's done all he can do. You've done all you can do. And when you've done all you can do, then you've got to turn it over to the creator of this body, mind, soul, and spirit. And that's where we're having an issue in this day and time. We are saying man wants to control man without having love, without having the community service of one another and helping one another. We got to get back to it. Got to get back to it. Chronic stress has been linked to, you want to know what it was? Anxiety and depression, cardiovascular disease, obesity, menstrual problems, sexual dysfunction, gastrointestinal problems, hair and skin conditions. People suffer from stress-related symptoms, depression or anxiety, often have low levels of magnesium. In a follow-up analysis of a clinical study, it was found that approximately 44% of participants researched for stress were magnesium deficient. So basically, when I'm looking at you and you're looking at me, 1 out of 2 are magnesium deficient. Preclinical studies found that a specific form of magnesium acetyltaurinate increased the brain tissue levels of magnesium more effectively than other forms of magnesium tested. Magnesium acetyltaurate, and that's coming from the life extension. Magnesium acetyltaurate was recently tested in women with menstrual syndrome, premenstrual, over a period of 3 menstrual cycles who had increased magnesium intake from food. Researchers found improved sources of symptoms of distress, including nervous tension, anxiety, irritability, headaches, fatigue, and depression in women supplemented with magnesium acetyltaurate twice daily, twice a day. That's all you need. How are we doing here? We're doing good. Magnesium stress connection. Decades ago, researchers first noticed a link between magnesium and stress. Many of the frequently reported symptoms of stress, fatigue, irritability, anxiety, headache, and upset stomach are the same symptoms commonly found in patients with magnesium deficiency. As scientists explored the connection, they discovered that it goes both ways. Ready? Here are the 2 ways. The body's response to stress leads to a loss of magnesium in the urine, over time creating a magnesium deficiency. Low magnesium levels make people more susceptible to stress, increased reduce of stress hormone like adrenaline and cortisol, which can be helpful if the lower levels, or that can be a problem if the levels stay down too long. How about that? This can create a vicious cycle, as low magnesium levels make the effect of stress more severe, that further reduce magnesium levels, making people even more susceptible to stress, and so on. On the other hand, maintaining adequate magnesium levels helps promote against stress and other conditions. Magnesium is an important cofactor for the synthesis of serotonin in a neurotransmitter reduced like a positive mood and feeling of calm. Most antidepressants and anti-anxiety medicines act to, at least partially, to modulating your serotonin neurotransmitters. Magnesium can also inhibit release of stress hormone cortisol from the adrenal gland. Unique brain-targeted magnesium. Scientists identified a specific form of magnesium that can take orally can rapidly increase brain level of magnesium. Magnesium acetyltaurate is magnesium's combined with a form of amino acid taurine. The combination can make it easier for the magnesium to cross the blood-brain barrier. Studies have found that this form of magnesium was more easily absorbed into the brain than the other forms of magnesium. In one study, rats were given either magnesium acetyltaurate or two other commonly forms of magnesium sulfate and magnesium oxide. Brain tissue and blood magnesium levels were specifically higher after 8 hours in the group receiving magnesium acetyltaurate. Another preclinical study pitted magnesium acetyltaurate against 4 other common forms of magnesium, and they were magnesium sulfate, oxide, citrate, and malate. Again, brain levels of magnesium were specifically higher in the group receiving magnesium acetyltaurate and with control or other forms of magnesium tested. So, the study showed that magnesium acetyltaurate was associated with decreased anxiety inhibitors in rodents. Now, we got to test them rats first. The form of magnesium was also shown promise to early study in humans. And it's eased the stress after taking 385 milligrams of magnesium with acetyltaurate twice daily over a series of 3 consecutive menstrual cycles. Scores of numerous symptoms and specifically reduced, including those of nervous tension, anxiety, irritability, headaches, fatigue, and depression. So, intake of this form of magnesium may promote calm, help people cope with symptoms of stress, anxiety, whatever the cause. And that's by taking the magnesium acetyltaurate. And that particular one, Nature Sunshine, and also a Life Extension could be something you could get what you need for that purpose. What have I done? I have given you a way that chronic stress is associated with cardiovascular disease, obesity, anxiety, depression, and more. And it's got to be done on the physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, and even financial crisis happen, and you can get them taken care of. The close link between stress and magnesium in the body has gained interest by researchers. Having low magnesium levels increase susceptibility to stress and its negative health consequences. One specific form of magnesium, magnesium acetylstearate, taurinate, Taurate, was found to be superior to either form tested in raising brain levels of magnesium. Taking 385 milligrams of magnesium acetylstearate twice daily reduced premenstrual syndrome symptoms, and it helped with stress, anxiety, depression, and fatigue. All of this, folks, to share with you that we've got to get back to helping one another and having peaceful relationships one with another. And I want to say thank you for giving me the opportunity to share the wisdom and knowledge that we've been able to obtain over these many years of working with God-given plants and herbs at Remedy This Naturally. Thank you. I'm your host, Claiborne Holtzman.